a little bit of fun on my job. So we're going to take about 30 minutes today, and then some questions. And as I was talking with Rhonda, yes, I am from Maine, originally New England, so I share your humidity in the summer, and now I live here in San Diego. So just a little bit of an update. And kind of funny is you have an orange county. So California has an orange county, and feel free if you want to turn your cameras on anyone as well. A few things. Stewart Title is a great customer of ours. We have Stewart Title on board here in Los Angeles, San Diego, Oklahoma, actually. And I've been to Oklahoma, nice modern city. And of course, now in Florida. So if you haven't signed up, you can go to StewartAdvantageFL.com, sign up, and you'll just fill in the red dots here. You don't need to put your license number in or anything like that. You're just going to sign up. You'll put your email in, and it's going to ask you to click for your title rep. So your title rep should all be in here. So make sure you click your title rep. Remember to do that, and then just hit sign up, create my account. You're going to receive an email from us, Benutech. We are the company that powers this and brings this portal to Stewart. So it's going to be Benutech, and check your spam folder. And we were talking earlier about requirements for hardware and browsers. It'll work on all PCs, Mac and Windows. We prefer you to use Chrome though. And if you have a Mac PC with the most recent operating system, which is Big Sur or Catalina, that might be a little bit of an issue. So just the FYI on that. I have a little bit of a head cold I'm just getting over as well. So my apologies. So done a lot of Zoom presentations, a lot of demonstrations for Stewart and the system you're about to see. It's compliant, brought to you by your title reps. Okay, so you're able to do farming, profiles, labels, everything in this program. Feel free, of course, to reach out to your title rep and let them provide walking farms or labels as well, or profiles, but that's all on board here for you. But the real reason we're all here today is, how do I get business out of this program? So I'm not sure if there's any lenders on, if it's majority of agents, but lenders will also crush it with this program. And I'm going to show you some of the hot doors. Rhonda touched on some of the categories, but there are some incredibly hot doors where the homeowner are waiting for you to call them today. And I really mean that. Today, I'm going to walk you all the way through this, and they want to hear from you today, either a lender or an agent. Okay, lender here, awesome. Lender's going to be awesome. Marcus is a lender, great. One thing I want to show you, if you hit your drop down, you'll see My Wallet. A lot of this program is completely free, a lot of it. But no doubt you're going to spend some money. Phone numbers and emails are always an add-on. And as far as value, Rhonda talked about, your marketing dollars, your budget. And I would hate to say it's cheap, but you're never going to find a better deal here, and the quality is exceptional on our data and our phone numbers. And I'll certainly talk about phones and emails in a little bit. So what you would do is you just log in, you go to My Wallet, you put some money in here, basically, because it'll just make your checkout a lot smoother. You'll see this, okay? Then you'll go back and you'll start farming. Again, there's a lot to the program. I'm just focusing on how to get you to doors where people want to talk to you, whether you're an agent or a lender. Go into farming. My tip is always clear search. And again, Rhonda's recording this, so don't feel a need to take notes. Drop down. When you start farming in this program, one of the cool features are you can save these farms, no matter how big or how small. So you have a small farm around your office, so you have a large farm, 1,000 properties or more, whatever. Every week, you're going to receive an update. And on that update in your farm, it's going to show you properties that have closed a loan, a refi, or a title transfer, a new listing. You should absolutely be marketing to those nearby neighbors. So keep in mind, let's say I'm an agent or a lender, I have a farm of 1,000 properties. I'm not the only one out there prospecting, you know that. You have competition. And what I'm going to show you today is how to get the leg up on your competition. Okay? Because even though we work with Stuart, we're just starting to roll this out in Florida with Rhonda's crew. So everyone on this call, and I heard what they said, the elite agents, you guys are going to even take it to the next level. That's why, again, what we're all here for. So you're going to get a weekly update. You know what happens when someone refis, right? They go out and they brag to their neighbors. Oh, man, I'm saving $200 a month. I just refi. They're a walking advertisement for refi. And I'm going to talk about the loan component in here. Or how about this? Someone bought a house. Those nearby neighbors goes, wow, I can't believe the listing price on that house. And you know how men are. Oh, honey, maybe we want to think about listing, and we grab $40,000 in equity. So that's why you want to market to those nearby neighbors. So you're going to get that update every week if there's activity and you have safe farms. So that's huge. You can farm around your own address, a radius, a boundary search. You can search the whole area. So today, to keep it on the quick and simple, I'm going to go in and do an area search. And like I said, I kind of find it kind of funny you're in Orange County. So let's go into Orange County here in Florida. All you're going to do is work your way across these tabs. Where my cursor is, Premier Data. If you click on that, this is where you spend some money. Everything to the left is completely free. You will always add phones and emails. I mentioned that once. I'll probably mention it again. Everything to the left, completely free. We'll talk about it. And then this is where you spend some money. So,
And
Florida,
Jim,
Orange County. Yep, go ahead.
I think it's important too that we let everybody know there is no monthly fee for this program. The only thing you're going to pay for is what Jim's going to talk about in just a minute, the phones and emails, and they're pennies for them.
Right,
so.
right. Yeah, completely free, again, through Stuart Title. So, of course, Stuart would love to have the title jobs that you're going to get because you're going to actually increase your bottom line. I had, my boss, we all have bosses, and he said, stop telling people that they're going to get, 80% close rate. So I didn't say that, all right? I did not say that. But I am going to show you those doors today. I really mean it. They're so incredibly super hot. I will show you those. All right. So again, I could do a radius, boundary, or the whole zip code, or cities, or zips. Let's just look at Orange County. So I did a little bit of research. I was just curious. In Orange County, your population, anyone care to guess? 2019 census. I have my chat window open. Anyone have a guess? What's the population in Orange County, Florida? All right, 1.3 million. So I'm from Maine, and the whole population in Maine's 1 million. San Diego County, the city of San Diego is 1 million. So you're able to, through this program, farm 1 million property owners. Population is 1.3, so they're, of course, children and whatever. But you're able to reach out and farm to 1 million property owners. You're just going to work your way across. Again, you're going to use a city, say, or a zip code, and we can do something afterwards if someone has a specific city or zip code or around a listing. I just want to show you the power of the program on a larger scale. Property characteristics, all property types in here, commercial, multifamily, apartment buildings. It defaults to singles and condos. Again, you can filter this any way you want, and there's always other available fields. And I'm sure, if this is an elite group, you've used farming tools before. Assessments and taxes. First stop on our tour, as Rhonda said. and this is again for the whole county. Most recent year tax delinquencies. I go back 5 years. Because you know, as a property owner, if you have tax problems, you can usually get with the tax assessor and have some sort of a paper agreement that they'll let you float, especially with COVID. Get count, especially with COVID, they don't want to take your house, but there is going to be a time where you're going to have to do something. So I go back 5 years. I could filter however I want. I want to make two important things, 2 important points. One, there's no MLS data in this program because that's not compliant for us to put it in there. 2 is the data varies from county to county. I was talking with Rhonda earlier. So for example, in Palm Beach, there are no tax defaults, but there are tax defaults in Orange County. That's free list. Again, excluding phones and emails. So I want to limit my records here. Let's just say I want 1,000 of these. Get count. Download view records. So I have 1,000. And again, I could just do zip code, or I could just do city or around my neighborhood. Map on the left. Here's 1,000 properties that they can't pay taxes. 1,000 properties. So I tend to grade the doors, like how hot they are. These are a solid B+ door, B+ A-. They can't pay taxes. Again, this whole program, if I gave you the elevator pitches, we're showing you, like Rhonda said, the exact doors to market to, instead of marketing to 1 million people or 1,000 people.
So Jim, when you say tax delinquency, are you talking about property taxes?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Property taxes. Again, not in all counties, but you have them in Orange County. Awesome. And I might make a slip up and say Orange County, California. If I do, that's just because I used to live there. So go in and edit search. I can knock those guys back out, and I'm going to show you some features of the program, or I can go to even hotter doors. So Premier Data. And I'm going to do a lot of different searches today. So let's start with mortgage. Let's say I have a tax default. I have a couple of options here. Get a loan, list my property. I can get out of loan type, conventional loans, interest rate. I could do 4 1/4, say. Get count. So I had 1,000 properties that had tax defaults, and I could unlimit my records, if that's even a term, to put all 12,000 in. And how many out of this 1,000? There's 26 doors that I could refi because I can beat their interest rate. And then for a kicker, I could put on loan to value. So equity loan to value, of course, is the opposite, loan to value of equity. So 50% or less loan to value. I had 26 that I could beat their interest rate. Give it a second here. 8 doors. How cool is this? And that was out of 1,000, so there was 12,000, so roughly 100 doors if I didn't limit my records. So we're showing you, again, as a lender on this one, you have a tax problem, you have equity, I can beat your interest rate.
What about
Yeah.
what about where you have equal to 4.25? What about if you change that to equal to or greater?
Oh,
right?
Yeah, excuse me. Good, yeah, good catch on that, Rhonda. Very good catch. Yeah, so Rhonda's shop. So point for Rhonda. If we're keeping score today, she has 1 point. Yeah, so that's going to make it even more. Sorry, that was exactly, very good point, Rhonda. Thanks. That was exactly just 4.25. So I thought I had the greater than on that. So that'll kick that up exponentially. So everyone, Rhonda has 1 point.
Jim.
So look at that. Yes.
And this will now allow them to use the phone numbers, right? Because rates are creeping up, so they can start calling like today before the rates continue to rise and get these people to refinance, right?
Right,
Phone
yeah, so we'll
numbers.
talk about we'll talk about phone numbers as well. So again, where there's a lender or two on the call, I'm just focusing this part, is we're talking about, yes, I mean, no one wants to lose their house because they can't pay taxes. But if the lender prospects or the agent, however that call flow goes, I want to keep my house. Well, I may have a lender that I would like you to work with. So your lender is very grateful because you gave them a handoff. And we're all in sales. I'm in sales, obviously. And, personality and the way you approach people is a big deal. And then you call someone and goes, you know what? I'm so tired of, fighting all the bills, HOA and taxes. I'd love to list. Well, if you're the lender, hand it off to your agent. So, and the other thing is, if you work directly with lenders, you guys can split the fee. The point is, since Rhonda mentioned it, now we're up to 1,100 records. 1,100, and that was a really good grab on that, Rhonda. So 1,100 that have equity and have tax problems. Awesome. All right, let's go back. I'm going to just drop out the loan to value. Conventional loan, I don't want to limit my records. Interest rate, let's just do this one. For people that are on the call here, I can just get the count here. How about this one? Interest rate 4.25 in orange. How many properties can you just beat their interest rate?
Hey, Jim, we have a question.
Sure.
How can we filter how recent the data was reported? For example, someone may have greater than or equal to 4.25% interest rate, but they may have already refinanced if the data is from 2010.
Yeah, because there's a loan date filter in here, right here. You probably can't see it. Well, let's back up a little bit, guys. So first of all, how about this? 82,000 homes. 82,000 homes at 4.25. That is crazy. And then you could put equity filter on to get that down to something manageable. I'm actually going somewhere with this guy. I'm going somewhere. I'm leading up to something with this. And I haven't forgot that quick question about loan date. So you're right. There's no real easy filter in here to click to say, hey, did they refinance or not? No, but so now there's 30,000 homes that have equity that you can beat at 4.25. You could raise that up to 4.5 or whatever and make it even more of a knockdown. And like what Rhonda said, there's a loan date right here. So I could put in, loan date, last 12 months, say, last couple of years, whatever. And there's also under assessments and taxes, a purchase date. So if you put those filters on, like the purchase date was 15 years ago or earlier, and then the loan date, the last 5 years, or before that, or however you want to figure it out, that's going to give you who's refinanced in the last, say, 5 years or so, or whatever your rate is. So I'm just showing you, again, a quick tour here, but yeah, that's absolutely manageable to do that. So where am I going with this? 2 places. Number one, and I'm going to talk more about it. All of these farms that you purchase or create, you can export. So one of the cool features is, and I'll show you this again, there's an export feature. It doesn't go directly to your Facebook page, but it puts it into a spreadsheet that you can upload to your Facebook business page. So if you're doing Facebook marketing, there's 30,000 homes that you could beat. So you know how this works if you're in Facebook marketing. I go on and I Google refi rates, loan rates, who's a good lender, whatever. Any of those activities, or I went into a bank, I went into, a mortgage company, and I have my GPS on my phone. Any of those behaviors, the next time one of these 29,000 people, property owners, go on Facebook, your ad shows up. So Facebook marketing is incredibly hot. This is a really good one. So you do have to buy the phone numbers. And again, you don't need to buy 29,000 because that was all of Orange County, but it's a total numbers game. It's a total numbers game. So again, they have to have a behavior. So like, test this out yourself. If you go on Google and you type in something kind of like crazy, like say, I don't know, airline tickets to Washington State or golf clubs, whatever, something crazy. The next time you go on Facebook, what do you see? Ads for airlines, Dick's Sporting Goods, or whatever. Same principle here. I went on, I typed in, I'm looking to refi, what's the rates, blah, blah, blah. Your ad shows up. So someone mentioned investors. First and foremost, we're a data company, which is awesome to have in your back pocket, whether you're on the title side, the loan side, or the agent side. So one of the really hot tickets, and it's not in this program though, are code violations for investors and out-of-state owners, because there's a filter here for out-of-state owners. You can, again, the creativity is up to you. It's any way you want to filter here, you can. I want out-of-state owners right here. So code violations are not in this program, but think about it. I'm an out-of-state owner, I got a code violation, meaning, weed abatement, broken windows, safety hazards, fire hazards. That's a real red flag. If you want those code violations, and I'm putting an email address in here, you send an email to Brian@benutech.com. Say, hey, Brian, in this zip code, in this city, or in this county, or the whole state, depending on how small or how large everyone is here, I want all your code violations. I must have phone numbers with them or emails. Brian will give you an account. He'll take your credit card information right over the phone. I think code violations is 50 cents a piece, whatever. It's a $50 minimum. So you have a data company as well. So back up a little bit here. I've got 30,000 people that I can refinance at 4.25. They have equity, lead. And again, I'm going to show you this from an agent perspective as well. Drop down. No doubt your competition, they're using some sort of a program similar to this. No doubt your competition is. I don't know what program they're using. There's a bunch out there. Why use ours? Super simple to use. You have me, you have Rhonda, and we have a secret sauce here I'm going to show you in a minute. So no doubt, plus those weekly updates, no doubt your competition is marketing to affidavits of death, bankruptcies, and divorces. Affidavits of death are pre-probate. So if someone passed away on a property and the children are left the home, chances are they're going to end up listing that home and cashing it out. Bankruptcies and divorces are still in the system. I understand a lot of agents don't want to get into bankruptcies or divorces, but someone will market to them. So for example, I'm going to do a quick count afterwards. Excuse me. This one right here though, liens. These are the hottest of the hot. Remember I grade the doors? These are your A++ doors. They're waiting today. Remember I talked about L for lien, but I said they can get a loan or list. Well, there's another one when a lien is get a lawyer. Because if you have a lien, and these are all types of liens, and I'm going to walk you all the way through this. All types of liens on the high end, they're IRS 1040 liens, the child support liens, the default judgment liens. Those are really stiff liens. And then they go down from there. So in the program, you're not able to cherry pick the high end ones. But again, if you work with a lender and an agent in tandem, that's where that 80% that I'm not supposed to mention comes in, that I think you could close 80%. Didn't say that. Here's liens filing date in the last 12 months. Get count. So keep in mind that I am filtering with an interest rate, and I am limited my records, and I'm doing loan to value here. There's 290 liens. 290 liens in Orange County that you can beat their interest rate. Phone numbers, let's talk about it. These are not scrubbed against the do not call. You have to click, yes, I want both phones and emails, one or the other, more than likely. You're going to check off both. We use Data Finder. That's the company we use. It's a third party. The quality's awesome. Not kidding. We've sold over 6 million phone numbers. Let's say we've had 0 complaints. It's been so few. The issue, if you will, is we match 75%. The majority will be mobile. I'll show you the export in a minute. 5 cents a match for phone numbers. We match 35% emails, 7 cents per email. So yes, phones and emails. I had 290, I think. I want to limit my records. I'm actually going to buy, right now, I'm going to buy 20 of these. Get the count. This is how simple this is. And again, we're going to go back and do some more filtering. 290, I bought 20, $18.40. Pay now. I have money in my wallet. $18.40. I'm just going to call this Rhonda's sample. Pay secure. Give it 1 minute. I rushed this. Yes, I did rush it. So here we go. It will take a minute for it to populate. Now we're in kind of the meat of the program. One thing I want to show you in this program for navigation, this drop-down gear is your best friend. Excuse me. Right here, we have a couple of great features. Detailed view. We work with Google a lot in this program. If they could capture or is close to it, we show you the house. Cool. And we show you, if we have it, their finance information, their sales information. So it's a really cool little feature. On the drop down, another great feature is the net sheet. We show you like a Zillow estimate, but it's our estimate. What we think you could list that house for today, sight unseen.
And I want to mention, Jim, that usually we have found when doing net sheets that sales price is very low. I know it's an AVM, but it's been very low on most of the net sheets that we've done. So I'm glad they can alter that and put in their own list price. Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah. So like Rhonda said, AVM, if you're not familiar, which you probably are, automated valuation model, sight unseen, it's ours. It's our estimate. And if you've ever seen an AVM report, typically they're graded to 0 to 100. The higher the score is the confidence score. That means we have comps. We're pretty sure that that is pretty much a good starting point, as they say, because because of the crazy real estate market, it's a starting point. So, and we show you their original loan amount. So that's an awesome net sheet. And again, if you were going to refi, there's a refi tab, buyer, seller, awesome net sheet. So one of the first questions you're going to get with a property owner, is what's the value of my house? You know that. So let's cut to the chase. Over to the right, and I'll show you the export in a minute. It's an awesome export sheet. It's a long one. So just because we don't have the lien amount doesn't mean it's not significant. So take a look at this. I don't know what the lien is on that one. It's a code violation. It might be pretty small. Okay? So right here, default judgment, $18,000. Look at this default judgment. And they filed it twice, apparently. I'm just going down through. Like I said, someone's not going to list their house probably for, a water storage, a utility lien, but those are good ones because you can refi. Those are refi. $17,000. Here we go. $250,000 IRS. So this person, no doubt, will lose their house. No doubt. And we're going to take a look at this net sheet in a minute. No doubt. This one here is bizarre. 6694. So some of these have a code. I think that's a terrorist lien. Oh, 6694. Hold on. Prepare a pen. No, it's a tax lien. It's a tax lien. That's a crazy lien. So I'm not sure what that lien's about. That's just too crazy. Not even sure what that lien is about, to be honest with you. There's that big one for the IRS. The smallest default judgment. So again, you could go through Brian and you could get liens that are above, say, $10,000, because in my opinion, that's where we want to think that they're going to start considering listing. So under export, this option right here for farm, I don't want to remove duplicates because some properties have more than one lien. I could name this. I'm just going to leave it export, hit download. That's all there is to it. Take a look at the spreadsheet. Then I'll show you the Facebook export. Here we go. So here's your 20 properties. First thing I tend to do is I look for properties that have multiple liens. Some of these liens do get refiled. So there's some multiple liens here, properties with multiple liens. So this is a great spreadsheet, guys. So take a look at the spreadsheet. You know, all the property characteristics, owner's name, of course. We have their purchase date, excuse me, purchase date, purchase price, year built, mailing address, property characteristics. We have their assessed value, the market value. Here for lenders in the on the session today, this is awesome. We show you who their loans are with, their interest rate, their loan amount, their loan date. Anyone that have a second loan, we put that on there. Here's their AVM. Here's their total outstanding loan amount. Again, you're only paying 5 cents to add that loan information on. So here's what we really want to look at, guys, is the lien date. People always say, well, how fresh is the data? Look at the lien date. Look, July. How fresh are those? So let me go back and reiterate. I told you, everyone your competition is marketing to: deaths, divorces, bankruptcies. We can do a quick count and see how many of those. Those are huge. You should market to them as well, yes. But no one's marketing to liens. I don't know if I mentioned this. It's all public information in this program. But try finding liens on the internet. They're out there incredibly hard. We're one of the only companies that bring you liens. They're 75 cents a piece. And these are the property owners, again, that need your help. These are the A++. So here's the liens. Here's their lien amounts. Here's their lien amounts. Here's their phone numbers, guys. We did a really good match rate. I don't know if we matched them all. So don't, again, I don't want to oversell the phone numbers because we usually only match around 75%. And we show you the phone type. So if you did a text campaign, which is incredibly hot right now, that is an awesome spreadsheet, for sure. So again, you know, if you're prospecting new business, some of these people will not want to list their house for $104 lien, but you can beat their equity. Let me get you over to my lender, right? So back to the program. Export. I want to do a Facebook campaign. I can just hit the Facebook export. Remember that big spreadsheet I just showed you? This one here is called, I'll call it Export 1. I could rename it, of course. So Facebook only needs this. So let's say you had 1,000 properties. Let's say you bought 1,000 properties or 12,000, or you want to market to. Instead of this really big spreadsheet, this is all you need to upload to Facebook. We already formatted it for you. You need their phone number or email, and now you can market to Facebook. If you want to Google, how do I market on Facebook? This is where this comes in really handy. We're the data portion of this equation. But marketing on Facebook, like I said, if there's 12,000 people that you can beat in Orange County for loans, it's kind of like, you know, the new era digital age drip campaigns. Let's go back a little bit. Farming, down to farms, save farms. Here we go. Any farms you save, this is like that one that I just bought. I'm going to get updates on that. If someone refied or there was a title transfer. Hit the drop down. I can bring my farm up. Here's my farm again right here. Totally awesome, those updates. All right, let's go back in. Farming, clear search. Let's go back into farming. All right, let's do this. In the chat, someone put in an address. I'm going to bring it down to a little bit more well-defined area. Someone put an address in of a listing, a recent listing. Either still in, okay, great, thank you. Hold on a minute. I guess I have to, farming, hold on, I can't copy and paste that, I thought I could. Radius search. So this time I'm going to do a radius search, and it was 2680 Meadowview. Is that coming up or not? Hold on, I'm getting a lot here. 34.7. Right here. Meadowview Court. And I can zoom in. So let's just say I want to clear my search here. I'm going to do a boundary search because I can see the area here. I just want to capture, like, I don't want the ocean. So I can just click. I can paint this area, say. Let's just say I'm doing it pretty quick. I'm just clicking and dropping pins, and I don't need to make them touch. I can just double click and hit next. Now I captured that area, and that was around my listing. So we're right back to where we started. Let's get the count. Singles and condos. How many properties are we dealing with? We're not dealing with 1 million properties or whatever, or 12,000. This is a lot more well-defined. You're going to leverage your listing. Great, 2,000 homes. Awesome. So again, and forgive me, what county is this in? So I'm going over the taxes and assessments.
It's Osceola County, Jim, Osceola.
Okay, so I'm not, thank you. I'm not sure if I have tax default there or not. I told you at the start, sometimes we do, sometimes we don't have all counties. So let's see if we have tax defaults there. I got 2,000 doors around the listing. Again, it's totally repetitive. No, so we don't have tax defaults in that county, Rhonda. So if you get a 0 count, that means we just don't have the data, which is too bad. Again, Orange County, we did. So let's get rid of those.
That's okay,
guys.
but
That's
we can still check the turnover rate. We can still farm to next sellers. Sure. Yeah, all kinds of stuff we can still do. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So yeah. So again, because I was going to touch on that. So I want to just do out-of-state owners. Yes. I got 2,000 properties. I want to do out-of-state owners, get the count. Let me share with you a quick strategy. This came from an agent in LA. 2,000 homes around the listing. 329 doors, download view records. The strategy is this. You find the homeowners that are a plane trip away from Florida, Ohio, for example, right off the top. Ronald, the strategy is this. You go out and you can buy the phone numbers, and I showed you how we determine whether they're a landline or not. Remember this spreadsheet? Landline, mobile. You can buy the phone numbers. So I had 329. We're going to match probably 200 of those, a plane trip away. Maybe you got a solid 100, 150 doors. The strategy is this. It came from an agent in LA. You go out in the morning, you actually photograph the house, 3 or 4 pictures, whatever. You copy and paste the following text. Hey, it's Jim from whatever real estate company. I'm your local agent. I specialize in getting top dollar for out-of-state owners. And you pop that into the text with the pictures. And you might want to put in, my computer model says I could start listing your house for around $150,000. You send that email, text message, with the pictures to Ronald in Ohio. Ronald's in Ohio. Why am I getting a picture of my house in Florida? What's wrong with it? You've got his attention immediately. This is a great, great tactic. Yes, there's Facebook. That's awesome for large, but we're talking about 100 people being very effective. He sees, now he knows his local agent. He's got a figure in his head that you put in, his house was listed at whatever. Awesome strategy. You go back to your home or your office, give him a call. Hey, Ronald, it's James from Real Estate ABC. Did you happen to get my text message? Great. Awesome strategy for out-of-state owners. Edit search. That's that simple to pull up out-of-state owners and purchase phone numbers. And that's on the custom filters. So let's pop those guys back in. Next sellers. So this is a really good one. Next sellers, you probably heard the term, predictive analytics. So we think there's 229 here, download view. Picture a bell curve. You can do, like I said, as large or as small as you want, but around my listing here, based on the average year of ownership. So this is kind of interesting. 2015, 2013, and there's probably a 2014 in here somewhere. So the average year, 2014, the average year is right in the middle, 2014. So out of 2,000 homes around my listing, the average year was 2014. And we give you a 1-year window on each side. So that's the predictive analytics, kind of the median years of ownership. So think about it. You're playing the averages. And I said, this is kind of unusual because this is fairly recent. Usually I'll see 15 years of ownership. So that tells me that, being in Florida, of course, and these are next sellers, they've got a little bit of equity. They might be surprised. So if they're tired of ownership or with COVID, because that hit a lot of people really hard, this is a good predictive analytics to use. And that's also a good Facebook campaign, but I'd like to see that a little bit larger number. Because Facebook, again, is a total numbers game. So let's go back here. That's your next seller list right here under custom filters. And finally, empty nesters, which will be interesting to see. That's 30 years of ownership. This might be an incredibly low count based on that 2015, 2014 average year. Because empty nesters in our system, and again, you could manually filter by purchase date. You've got 23 properties where people have lived there 30 years or more. So again, hate to say it, but this is, really got hit very hard with COVID, this age demographic. And there's no age data in here, by the way, but you can kind of figure out what their age is, if they bought a house in, 30 years ago. You can kind of see that, they certainly have equity and and they're able to, be looking to maybe, sell, move closer to their children, move into a gated community, whatever, closer to their primary care physician. So that's a really good one, empty nesters. Again, we're showing you the doors to market to. So now, of course, where I'm going here, yes, I could put the mortgage rate on and do the refi, but I want to hop in this time and just focus on the big ones, affidavit of death, and you can just get a quick count here. Again, you're leveraging the doors around your listing. They know who you are. They've seen your sign out there, and there's no affidavits of death in that small farm. Bankruptcy. I don't know if we have affidavits of death in this county or not. We have one bankruptcy. How many divorces? Probably, we'll see. I can't say. No divorces. What do I get on here anyways? Yeah, all right, no divorces. How many liens? I would have to check this county. Maybe we just don't have divorces in that county. We have 16 liens though. 16 liens. So again, not every county do we have the data. So if we have it, you want to market to it, and the liens are the hot ones. So let's just take a quick look at these. I'm not putting the phone numbers on that, but let's just take a look at these liens. $12. Here's your liens right here. Let's take a look at them. $11,000 lien. They filed that twice. $22,000. These are all listings waiting to happen, in my opinion. There's a great one right there, unless you're that property owner. $104,000 IRS lien. Unbearable lien right there, guys. Unbearable. They're not going to live with that. They'll definitely lose their house. And, with the government, they can do it on their terms, or they can do it on the government. And look at this. Hate to say it, but when I see properties like this property's mortgaged to the hilt. Sometimes there'll be 3 loans, and he can't pay his very stiff IRS lien. So he's got just about enough here, depending on what his equity is, to probably cash that lien out, work with a lawyer maybe, and walk away from that whole mess. That's the reality of it. That is totally the reality of his situation. So again, when I say, they're waiting for you today, they're waiting for you today. They need your help. And again, just to reiterate, no MLS data in here. Here's another great lien. The liens, there's another great lien. All those large liens are listings. Again, work with your lender one way or another. All right. I feel as though I've beat that one to death. So hop back on, Rhonda. Questions, guys? We're coming up onto a full hour here.
Jim, were you able to, I got distracted for a second. Were you able to show how they can get the turnover rates?
Oh, sure. So what Rhonda's talking about is under statistics, clear your search and go back into statistics. And if I want, I can do an area search thing, for example. And this might be kind of large. Excuse me. Florida. I'll go back to Orange County there, Florida. And city. What's a big city there for you guys? Rhonda, what's a big city in Orange County?
You could scroll down a little. You could do Belle Isle. Belle Isle's good. Just do Belle Isle. Or Windermere, Dr. Phillips. Yeah.
All right. Well, Belle Isle, singles and condos. I can do I like carrier route, and this is geographical, and turnover rate, 5% or higher. Search. So turnover rate, if you're not familiar, is how many properties in a area, whether it be zip code or around a listing or whatever. Again, I'm taking Belle Isle. How many properties versus how many sold in a rolling 12 months. So from today back a year, these are the 4 tracks, and you want to be around 7%. That's the coach's estimate. So you have 2 tracks here that are close to 7%. So that means, you know how it is. People are selling or refining. It's a domino effect. especially when they see like, oh, like I said, what the Joneses house sold for.
I also
can't believe
like,
they got that much equity.
I
Yeah, go
also
ahead,
like when they do a farm in a specific area, like where they have a listing or where they just sold a house.
Right.
And
Right.
within that farm, you can click on dynamic stats and it shows, you know,
Right.
whether or not they should, you know, it shows the turnover
Right.
rate. So it shows, you know, if it's not a lot of turnover rate, I definitely wouldn't market there. I'd go and find
Right.
some other place that has a higher turnover rate.
Right. So what like Rhonda's saying is I can do a radius search, and if I go back up and pick out an address here. And by the way, if there's people on this call that do loans or license in other states, this is all
Hey, Jim, let's do 16413 Magnolia, Magnolia, Bluff. Right there, Monteverde.
right here.
Yeah.
All right. So let's just say I want to do this, and I can just go out a mile, say 1 mile around my listing. I hit next. So instead of doing like, you know, the whole zip code or whatever, I can do, again, carrier route because it's just a nice, tight little walking farm, and 5% or more. Let's see what we have. Maybe we don't have 5% or more. We'll see. So what Rhonda said was holds a lot of water per se, is like it's a high turnover rate. Yes. On the other hand, you may want to market to lower end turnover, because think about it, that has no place to go but up. But like
Jim,
what Rhonda's saying, look, yeah, go ahead.
Can you get the overall turnover rate? Like I'm
Sure.
talking about, like pull the entire farm and then click on
Right.
that button that says dynamic stats instead of putting in turnover
you
rate
can-
here.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
what Ron is talking about, dynamic stats shows you what your turnover rate is in an existing farm. So this is different. I'm showing you the turnover rate, and it looks like there's only 2 carrier routes here, by the way.
Oh, so we'd take the
in
carrier
this-
routes out. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you could. So we're showing you the turnover rate. So where this one's pretty high here, it's only 6 sales. It's a small carrier route. This one would be more realistic. So if you go back in and edit search, and again, instead of using carrier route, use property track, this will give you smaller pie, smaller slices of the pie.
And I like the smaller slices. I mean, I don't know how a lot of agents feel about it, but I like the smaller slices because you can do more targeted marketing to,
Right.
you know, you can really hone in on who you're marketing to, and it's not a lot of marketing dollars at all. So especially with the Core
Right.
Fact, you know, this links to Core Fact. A lot of you agents have heard me talk about Core Fact postcards. Steward Advantage, I'll show you how Steward Advantage can connect to Core Fact if you have a Core Fact login and password. And even if you don't, we can still export the list and upload it into Core Fact. So I really want to encourage you guys to connect with your business development officer who can show you more detail than just this tour or overview that Jim has given us today.
Right. And I will say one thing, Rhonda's right on about Core Fact. However, right now, Rhonda, you might not know this, there's a small issue on our end that we're addressing about the upload to Core Fact.
Yeah, we did
Okay, so
notice
we're-
that, but like I said, you can still export the
right.
CSV list
Oh,
and
of course,
upload it
right.
into Core Fact.
Right, because there's a drop down here in cloud, and that will let you log into your Core Fact account.
Yep.
So right now, since we did a recent update on our interface, and we know that that is not working, so we're on it. We should have that fixed this week, though. Just saying. Okay, so just
Yep.
an FYI on that. Okay, and then like, yeah, of course, high turnover is basically the same thing. As you know, you can go in, like I said, edit search, and you can put in whatever turnover rate you want. You know, if I want anything, like I said, that's where I started over 5, and do like say the whole zip code. or an area. That's how you're going to get that. And then what Rhonda was saying was, in a given farm, and I'm going to go into one of my saved farms right now. And so this one here, if I just click this one, it's a small farm, doesn't matter. It works the same whether it's 20 properties or 2,000 properties. And I go in and I do dynamic stats. It's only 20 properties. Give it a minute here. It's going to show you if this is a pertinent farm, meaning they've been in there in the last year. There's been activity here. Give it a second. It'll show you the turnover rate in a particular farm. So you can, like, when you develop your own farm, you'll be able to see whether your turnover rate is respectable or not.
Yes, and I also like how how it shows you the average price, you know, and then of course it gives you the number of home in sales, which is how they come up with the turnover rate. And then it also shows you how many's non-owner. Oh, so we may not have enough.
So yeah, this is not a good example. So let's go back in. Let's go back in and let's do it. Let's do a clear search. Okay. And then let's go back in and I'm going to do that radius search again. And give me another address here, Rhonda.
2265 North Stewart Street in Kissimmee.
Right. All right. So let's just say I'm farming this area, totally random, and I went out 1 mile, and I'll just pull it. And again, I could do a boundary search. So if I really wanted to do it properly here, I could go in and do a boundary search.
Where you put the pins
that address
in.
Again? Hold on a minute. Yeah, hold on a minute. Yeah, boundary search right here, and then I can go down and just, you know, capture it, you know, a little bit more precise, say, like, I'm just going to drop some pins here. You get the idea. You can just capture the area you want, say, no matter how big or how small. Hit next. And instead of working your way across like singles and condos, yes, let's get the count here. I have no idea if this will be fairly densely populated or what. Let's see. 1,800 homes. That's a good cross sample. Download view records. And then right here, when it loads, right here, dynamic stats. So this will come up now, Rhonda. We kind of rushed it a little bit.
Yeah.
Information here. But give it a second, guys. And we'll have your turnover rate, like what Rhonda said, all your home prices, and trending here for the last 5 years. So give it a minute. It's a lot of data going through. So you can see, you know, like using this program, how much data is available. Like I said, you could, you know, basically, theoretically, you can reach out to, say, you know, 1 million homes and really just cherry pick the top doors. So again, what Rhonda was saying, 6.99, 7% turnover, very good. Average home price, reasonable, non-owner occupied, and then trending.
So there you go, Erica.
For loans.
Yep. So there you go, Erica. That's 6.99% in that area around 2265 North Stewart Street. And to lower your marketing dollars, if you don't want to market to that many homes, you can simply go in and change the amount. Like you can lower your edit your pins and or, you know, start a new farm, or you can go in and use some of the custom tools that Jim is getting ready to show you here to lower that so you can hone in and do targeted marketing, which I really like. Big fan of.
Right. The same thing applies. I mean, once you have your area, whether you're trying to find it by turnover rate, again, you're just going to go in. If you have taxes, I already been over it. We find out who has default taxes. We go in. Maybe you want to do that out-of-state text campaign. Maybe you want next sellers on Facebook. Premier Data, maybe you want to go in and see, you know, the big three that everyone else is marketing to, and then absolutely lean. And then you would always add phones and email. I mean, that's it. In like 30 seconds, that would be a capsule of this whole presentation. just finding your area, whether you want to do by turnover, around a listing, the whole zip code of city, and then just work your way across. Again, taxes, custom filters for these three. And then, mortgage, if you're a lender, super, super easy, crazy. If you run a call center, a call team, you guys could totally crush it. We could give you huge numbers. Let me just say one thing to lenders or large volume. The program will work on large volume. But if you start to get like crazy large, like 5,000, 10,000, that's when you want to go through Brian. Because again, if you had, say, 10,000 loans that you can beat in this program, if you remember, we're not going to give you 10,000 phone numbers. So to optimize your dollars, you could go through Brian and say, hey, I just want, loan rates of above 4.5 in a certain city or whatever, must have phone numbers. And he can do that for you. You can plug in the equity, filter, loan type, and all of that. So Brian will give you that list. He'll work with you. And so if you're running a campaign, if you're managing a team, and again, whether it be lenders or agents, if you have a team, yeah, we can power that team for months ongoing. Again, national. So I know like lenders will be licensed in several states. The sky's the limit here. Or agents, like Arizona's incredibly hot. So if you're licensed, or California, of course, or Florida. I mean, there are certain states, that just because of the state, real estate's king. So Florida, obviously, is one of those states. Real estate's king in your state. California is king. Texas is very popular. Illinois, believe it or not, Chicago is really popular. Some places like, New England, not quite so much, or some states that, are pretty rural. No, but like Florida, of course. Totally awesome. All right. Final comments, questions, Rhonda?
You guys have any questions? Drop them in the chat box. We can ask them real quick, or please reach out to me. If you don't know who your business development officer is in your area, reach out to me and I will let you know who that person is. We can sit down with you, go over a marketing plan, talk more detail about where you can find different letters already ready to go. All you have to do is plug in your name and logo and stuff. And we can also talk about the Core Fact postcards, which are amazing. And we can go into more detail with this Stewart Advantage and show you how to get your next sellers, or show you how to get the turnover rate. Make sure you're doing smart farming. That's what this is all about, is farming the smart way to get the best crops. So thank you so much, Jim, for doing this for us today and giving us a quick tour of it. You're the best. We love working with you guys, and we're excited about this. So email me, you guys. Let's get connected with a business development officer and get some listings. We all need listings, right? It's crazy here in Florida.
And we really want to hear those success stories.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, Jenny,
the program.
Yeah, Jenny has already done a farm with an agent who already got, by using phone numbers and emails, already got a listing. So it works. It works. So thank you guys. I hope you have a great afternoon, and special thanks to you, Jim. We'll see you soon, you guys.
All right. Take care, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. Nice to see Chris and Harry on here, and Carson, all of you. Cindy Farmer, Margaret, Patrice, Tracy, anybody who's still listening. Thanks for joining us.